So here we have the MXL 50, very similar to a lot of the other Janome machines in the way that it controls the stitch and it stops and starts. So if we look at the stitch chart, we've got 0 0, which is just a straight stitch. Now all that should do, so we've got 0 0 there. If we start that, if we stop it, the needle will return to its set position, either up or down. So it won't stop immediately, it will stop the next time it gets up or the next time it gets down. And that's pretty constant, the way that it does that. Okay, so if we go to 0 1, that stitch has got a locking stitch at the beginning and at the end. Now if we start that, the machine will sew forwards, then it'll lock by sewing backwards, and then it'll begin to sew away again. And obviously it doesn't know where to start, so if we stop the machine, it will just stop and then it will carry on. But if we press the lock stitch, the machine will go through its locking sequence backwards and then forwards to lock the stitch. Now that is a backwards and forwards lock. 02 is the same thing, only on the spot. And then 3 is just a controlled stitch, the same as 0 0. So when we put it on 03, all it does is set the needle to the right, sorry, to the left, and we'll sew accordingly. And again, if we press the lock button, this time it will just lock on the spot before it starts off again. Now the problem is that if we are using 01, the machine is now going to go into reverse to lock, and we stop without locking. So all we've done is press the stop button and lift the presser foot, and we move the fabric, and then we start again. The machine doesn't really know where it is because we've gone halfway through the cycle. So when we press the stop button, it goes through its sequence to stop again. Now it's at the end of the sequence. Next time we start, it will then go through its beginning sequence to lock. So it'll go forwards, then backwards, and then away again. So when we're using 01 and 02, we need to make sure that we allow the machine to go all the way through its sequence before we lift the presser foot and start on another seam.